Welcome back to the Marching Arts Network. I'm the Stress Master. Thank you all for joining me on this video. Please make sure you subscribe if you have not done so. We have a lot of videos going to be coming out in the next few months. We really want to make sure that you're on board with us as we bring this content to you. And the best way is to subscribe. Also, you can visit our YouTube page where you can find lots of cool information. You can also look at all of our past videos. We have over 280 videos at this point. We have different playlists. You can also become a member of this channel, and that would really help support us in our efforts to bring more content to you and also be able to afford the things that we need in order to be able to bring this content as well. So thank you guys so much for joining us. I really wanted to do this kind of impromptu video. I've been seeing some videos about like my predictions for 2025 and what do I expect for 2025 and all this stuff. So we've seen a lot of show reveals at this point. We're about ready to have our very first shows coming up on the 27th, which is going to be in 8 days from now. It's about a week in a couple days. We are going to be having our podcast, which you're going to see this weekend. And we'll be talking a little bit more about some other stuff. But I really wanted to just talk one-on-one with you and kind of about my thoughts for 2025 and where I'm at in the headspace. So I've been doing this a long time, like you guys know. My first year was 1989, and the very first show I saw was the very first show I was in, believe it or not. I had never seen a live drum corps show until the very first show that we did. I believe it was on June the 9th, 1989. I think that's the date. And that's when I saw Santa Clara Vanguard for the first time, live, Blue Devils live, us, of course. The freelancers, but it was quite amazing and quite spectacular. So every year when we get towards the beginning of the season, I have that kind of same anticipation of what am I going to see? What am I going to experience? How am I going to feel? Am I going to get that feeling right here, where you get the kind of the not goosebumps, goosebumps are the outside, but like the internal, like little angst you get before you watch a show, like the nervousness. What are we going to see? So we haven't really heard too much about Blue Devils. Santa Clara, we know what their show is going to be. Boston Crusaders are actually going to be out here. I'm actually going to get to see Boston Crusaders on the 27th. I'm watching on Flow Marching. So I'm going to get a little sneak peek of what it's going to be like to see them. As well as Santa Clara, I think, is doing a same thing on the 27th. And they just announced this. So we'll be talking about it on the podcast, but they literally just announced with them and the Colombians that they're going to be doing this show. And it's going to be on Flow Marching, but there's no times or information on it. So anyway, so getting back to my expectations. So I really don't have any. I think that I've kind of gotten used to the way that this happens. I mean, there's going to be there's always a progression throughout the season from the first shows. It used to be the season, like I said, the season used to be a lot longer. We actually used to have our first show 2 weeks prior to what you're seeing this video in the beginning of June. We actually had a preview show and we had other little shows and stuff like that where we would go and perform. Now it's been pushed, pretty much to the end of July. Then we have all of June, the end of June, the end of June, not end of July, end of June. And then we have shows starting in July. And then we have the beginning of August. So about a 6-week season to get to see all the drum corps. So the progression isn't as dramatic as it used to be. When I marched, I mean, cadets used to take a 2-week break in the middle of tour and like revamp their whole show. Sometimes they would come back and be completely different. Like new song or new drill, a whole new like middle section, new closer. We even did it once. We even like got rid of a song and like replaced it. So that doesn't really happen that much anymore because of the shorter time span of the season. So I guess what the whole point of this video is just kind of, I don't really know what to expect anymore. Everything is kind of formulatic. I mean, and if you watch the last podcast, I kind of talked about how the shows all kind of seem to be kind of the same formula, kind of the same construction. And it's not any real different, I guess, than in the past. They used to play, a concert piece where you had to stand still, and they had the opt line and all this other stuff. And then we kind of went more into musicals and full on stage production kind of things. And so it's been kind of interesting to really know what you're going to get when you see drum corps. Last year, I was completely surprised by a lot of the shows. Glitch was a huge surprise to me. Blue Coast was a huge surprise to me in terms of just the way the show went. I mean, it was wild. I'd never seen anything like Blue Coats. I'd never seen anything like Glitch before. And I thought it was amazing. I thought it was great. So it's really going to be interesting to see what happens this year. A lot of people are predicting Boston is going to be able to finally take the championship, and I hope they do, but I don't know. I haven't seen anybody else to really know what is going to happen. What's going to be our, end goal, I guess, based on our expectations. So I know this is kind of all over the place video. I apologize. I just really wanted to get my thoughts out. I've been really thinking about it a lot. And I've been watching a ton of like Facebook videos, like these little vignettes and stuff about, the different corps and kind of they do like their check-ins and stuff like that. But it really doesn't tell you anything. It really doesn't. You don't get to hear any of the music, which I think is a travesty. I think they should give people a little bit of a taste of like this is the beginning part of this song or something like that. But they never do that, and it's really frustrating because you can't really hear anything until you see them live. So it's not really building any anticipation, I guess is the right word. You're just kind of getting these, like, they put this background music on and then they show stuff happening and movement and stuff. There have been a couple leaks of Carolina Crown, which we're going to watch on the podcast. It doesn't really give us too much, but it's enough. It's enough to hold on to. It's enough to grasp onto and go, that's going to be cool. I can't wait to see what they're going to do visually to that and see how it's going to integrate into their show. I really wish corps would do more of that. Like maybe release like a little part of a section that you can't really identify, but just kind of give us like, oh, that's a cool drum lick, or that's a cool brass lick, or, oh, look at the color guard here. Something to kind of get us motivated and anticipating what's going to happen during the season or when we see the show for the first time. So I don't know. I just don't understand that concept. I guess part of it's probably copyright, but I mean, if you're showing like a small clip, that's really not copyrightable technically. So I just don't really understand why more corps don't do that. I don't understand why corps aren't like giving little glimpses into their shows and building that anticipation, to get us like ready for the season. I don't know. Tell me your guys' thoughts in the comments below. I know I've been kind of all over the place. It's going to be a fun time editing this, so it makes more sense. So I've just really wanted to get it out. I really don't have a script. I've just been watching some videos, preparing for our podcast, and I'm like, you know what? I really don't know what to expect this season, other than just to expect the unexpected. All right, well, thank you guys so much. Appreciate your time as always, and please make sure you subscribe, like I said, and also please make sure you visit our YouTube page so that you can become a part of this channel. We would really appreciate it. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you in the next video, which is going to be coming really, really soon. So until then, march on.